Hey everyone, this is Lori, and I just discovered something that I thought was so cool, and I wanted to show you how with the Artisan it is so easy to color your own papers using HeatherT's commercial use papers with different patterns. So this one that you're looking at right here is a paisley pattern. You can see these colored papers. Let me just show you some others that she has in her store. So I am at Pickleberry Pop, and here is one set. This one is called Fresh Patterns, and what you're going to be able to do is recolor these papers to go with whatever kit you want. Here's another one called Dollhouse Patterns. So these are just a sample of what they could look like, and you get to choose and put your own colors in. She's got a lot of different commercial use patterns that you can fill in exactly how you want. So let me show you how this works. And I am going to start out with this set on the page. Let me show you how I got that here. After I downloaded and unzipped, I have these 4 folders of pings, and whichever folder you go to, you can pull over everything there. So you're going to pull, you have to sort by descending so that it's the background first, and this is this one, Paisley pattern 2. So I will move it back off the screen for just a moment and go to a clean sheet of paper. I'll pull it back on just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm grabbing all of those. Of course, I'm sorted by descending, and when I pull these onto the page, I want to pull from the background. And as I do that, I'm working in A5, but this works exactly the same way in A4. I will move that back out of the way. I'm going to, on the home ribbon, go to Align, Center on Page. And I don't have to do the cut because these all basically fill the entire background. Now what I found was the coolest way to do this is to start out by hiding, see the little eyeball? Hiding everything except that very front layer. Now on this one, that front layer is white. Let me show you. See how it's white? So this front layer where it's white, I might want to keep that background on there, or what I could do is I could turn that background black. Well, that's brown. Hold on. I could turn it black. There we go. And I could leave it like that just so I can see it to begin with. Now over under photos, because I don't work with my content, so I'm under photos, I have opened one of Heather's kits. This one is called Hidden Joy, and I'm just going to grab all the papers and drag it over into the photos. Now the reason I'm dragging the papers is because I'm making a paper myself that I want to go with this kit. I want it to completely coordinate, and the papers have the colors of the kit. Now there may be some other colors in this kit that I'd want to use, in which case I could pull the element over. Like I could pull that element just right over onto the side. So I'll move that back off the page for a moment and show you how easy this is. Where each of the different layers, I'm just going to turn this layer on, you can see that. We didn't have to cut it out, it's already on its very own layer. So I can take each one of these layers and I could fill with the paper, which would give it some texture like the paper has. See how that almost looks like a watercolor look? I could take the next one, now that's all this purple, and maybe what I want to do is to put in a very soft paper with a bit of a design on it, which is going to give me a really cool look. You can see the bits of the design in there. Now on this one, what if I were to just want to do the color, just the plain color? So I could go up to say Fill Solid Color, Sample, and come over and sample whichever color I want to use from the element that I pulled onto the page. So I'm building this up with each layer. I'm turning it on. I'm going over to my choices. I think I've used that one actually. Let me go pick this one. And I'm just working my way, filling in each one of those layers. I want to be able to see it so that I know where it is, and then I want to choose how I fill it. So I'm going to go get a solid color. I'm going to sample, and over here, once I have that blue, I'm going to go to this HSB, and I'm going to saturate that a little bit more, deepen it up a little bit, and you can see how I'm just filling in all of these different layers exactly how I want. Now maybe I want another design. Let's see how it looks with this striped paper. It might not work, but let's see. And let me make it invisible. That one, oh, that one is very subtle. Do you see what that is? That's just the little dots inside of these flowers. I'll turn it off again. See how they're all white now? And I'll fill them in again. And because I use the striped paper, those dots are actually filled with different colors. Look at that. How cool is that? I didn't even know I was going to get that look. So I think I've done all of them. Yeah, this is my top layer that had started out white and I turned it black. I'm now going to go to the background. Now this background, I may want to have a cool pattern across that background. So I can try that and see what I think. And then I might go back up to this top layer and change that back to white, just to see if that's a look that I want. That's beautiful. How cool is that? Now let's remember, let's look. This is what it started like. And as soon as I can get there, it does take a moment for the save. And this is what I made with it. Totally customized. It will now go with the kit, HeatherT's Hidden Joy. You can see all those colors, and I can save this as a paper. Now, how would I do that? I am going to zoom it down. I'm going to grab all of those layers, but I'm going to deselect the background, and I will go to Arrange and Flatten. I can, of course, add some texture to it if I go to my filter button, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is for the moment. Right mouse, I am going to say Save Selection, Export to Image File. Now once I do that, my box comes up and says, where do you want it to go? I'll go into HeatherT, and that was Hidden Joy. So I'm going to save it right in this kit. And I can turn it into a JPEG, so with the rest of the papers. And I will just call it HeatherT Hidden Joy Glory Be Paper 1. And very cool, now I have a paper that I can bring in and do anything that I want with, just as I could any other paper on the page. I want to show you a couple of other examples so that you can see how different it can look depending upon what papers you fill in with. So here's one of the papers exactly as it came in. Now if I wanted to, I could just take that top layer. You can see that top layer, and I can change that to the white like I changed it on the other one, and give it a whole different look. That might be a little bit too much going on that one, but here's what I actually did, totally recoloring it with a different kit. And here is another one. So this one is just exactly as it came in, and I thought it was really pretty that way, but I recolored it, and this is what I ended up with for a paper. So there are so many of these. It's very, very awesome. Remember, you can go in to her store and look, and you have to go into the creative use store. So if you look down under designers and keep going, right here, HeatherT creative use licenses and all kinds of different patterns. Have fun with that. I know I did. Bye-bye.